Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy JC from JC Eagles Talk. And today I have with me a special guest. Of course, it is Niners week. This is the big week that we all been waiting for ever since we mollywop the bottom feeder Atlanta Falcons. So now we get a real test. So who's better than I could bring on this show to talk about the 49ers than my guy CJ Ruthless? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Yeah, this will be an ultimate test for both our teams because we played lowly, sorry Lions team that's not that great. We played the Falcons, not that great. This will be an ultimate test right here. So I'm over here at JC Eagles Talk stream, man. Let's just get to the chase, man.
All right. Hey, injury report. So what are your injury report? Like who's out, who's in, what's your biggest concern going to this Sunday matchup?
Well, since you've heard about this news lately, Jason Verrett's out for the year. There's been injury reports with Dre Greenlaw. He's likely going to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So that's a big blow. Looking at the other side of the field, there's been some progress on the injury report that Javon Kinlaw might play. Emmanuel Mosley's in progress. Emmanuel Mosley's in progress right now, so he might be good to go. Looking at the depth chart, there hasn't really there's been a little bit of controversial issues with Ayuk and this receiving core, but I think it's kind of been stirred a little in the pot. But other than that, it's kind of been a misunderstood. But as far as the running back situation, Raheem Mostert's out for the year. So that leaves Elijah Mitchell that could be the guy, or they might just have a fresh debut of Trey Sermon, who was supposed to play, but actually is going to play this week.
So basically, on every level, you have a starter out. Basically, your backfield, Mostert, he's out for the season, right?
Yeah.
All right. So your defensive line, Kinlaw, he might be out for this upcoming game. He's a starter, right?
Well, he didn't even play against the Lions, but he's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be ready to go against the Eagles, depending on the progress. Yeah, but he's listed as our starter, but he didn't play against the Detroit Lions.
Okay, and then your linebacker core, Greenlaw. Yo, that's a huge loss because last week he had about 6 tackles, 1 interception, return for a TD. I mean, he was the better half, the second half, the dynamic duo with Fred Warner. So that's another big loss in your linebacker core.
Yeah, that's correct. As far as him in general, he is a really good player, but it's going to be hard to replace. But I feel confident with the guys we got at linebacker. Al-Shaair, number 51. I don't know if you saw that film against the Lions. He was making some spectacular plays. He was in good position. I feel confident with number 51, even though he may not be exactly like Dre Greenlaw, but he at least be decent enough to do the job. I'm hearing we might just put in Demetrius Flanagan-Fools at that Sam spot, maybe where he can cover one of your Miles Sanders and quite a few of your other players out there. Cornerback-wise, I'm hearing a lot of this that Josh Norman might be started, so that might be the advantage for you guys. The only question mark is, are we going to switch coverage now? Because we know the guy cannot play man-to-man.
Yeah. Look, that's true because the last time I saw Josh Norman, a quarterback converted to wide receiver, and Greg Ward beat him for a last-minute touchdown, and the Eagles win. So, and look, I pray that y'all start Josh Norman. And then your last big injury is Verrett, and your top-notch DB, he's out for the season. So y'all coming in this game limping right now. So what makes before I go there, look, the Philadelphia Eagles injury-wise, we had, as far as everybody practice, full practice, nobody really is out that could impact the game that much. Nobody. So we coming in this game healthy for a second week. All right. So the first week was last week, and the Philadelphia Eagles came in last week for the first time in over a couple years healthy. So, and that's why last week you saw what you saw. So coming in this week, I'm not going to say it's going to be the same results, but it's, when you have a healthy offensive line and a defense line and your team is healthy, you have a slight advantage. But we're gonna get into it, the different positions, who's better in this position, and so on. All right, so let's get into it. So, okay. So that's too fast. Right there. Boom. Who had the
Okay.
better quarterback? So we're gonna go position by position on both teams. And then the people out there that's listening, at the end of this stream, non-biased, Eagles fans, 49ers fan, non-biased, just based on our conversations and our stats and our facts, they're gonna say, all right, you know what? Eagles got the better team, or 49ers got the better team. So we're just going to keep it honest, real, ain't scripted, raw. So who got the better quarterback, and tell me why?
Well, at the moment, looking at the base by the performance and overall talent, I have to say Jalen Hurts, based by the fact he can do a lot more. I know that Jimmy did a really good performance, but that's just how he plays. Mm-hmm. But I have to go by the base raw talent. I know he's only played 5 games, and I'm an Oklahoma fan, so I got to say this guy's one hell of a good player, so I got to give him the edge a little bit. Slight edge.
Okay, so all right. So we got the better team. All right, so what is the most important position on a team?
The most important position on a team is actually getting a quarterback who can carry your team, even if it's on a really good team. Like for example, Seattle, they got Russell Wilson. He's carried this terrible defense of Seattle and a terrible offensive lineman. You can have an Aaron Rodgers carry your team too, but that's the more important position in today's NFL is you got to have one of those guys.
All right, so and we both agree that the Philadelphia Eagles have the best quarterback, the better quarterback.
Yeah, based by the skill set, yeah. Skill set wise and talent wise, I think, and he doesn't even get rotated in, so I got to go with the guy that's actually playing better right now.
All right, so that's 1 point for Philly. Hey, I'm keeping scores here because I'm trying to figure out by the end of this conversation, right, by the end of this live, how, let's just say that Philly got 6-1 or 5-2. Like, how could you as a 49er fan, I know you a homer or whatever, could say that your team will win if we keep in scores and Philly is up 5-2. So I mean that's not possible to me, but it is what it is. So we won right now. 1 for Philly, that they got the better quarterback. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So all right. So now let's go into the backfield. Who has the better backfield? So I'm about to go first because I let you go first last time. So all right. So Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. We are second in the league in rushing. We was first. Yes, it's only week 1. I understand it's only week 1. But before Monday night happened, we was first in the league with 173 yards rushing. All right. So, and I believe that y'all were about like 9th or 10th in the league in rushing with 131. So, with that being said, I've seen y'all get gashed. And it wasn't a blowout then. It was literally in the first quarter. And Swift was getting whatever he wanted. So just looking back at that game against the Detroit Lions and just thinking about the overall picture, who has a better backfield? Trey Sermon and Mitchell, or Sanders and Gainwell?
Well, looking at the performance of the overall game-wise, it would be kind of biased for me to pick my team in this situation because you guys did have a good running game. So, man, I have to be realistic on this one. I think the Eagles have pretty much have a good balanced running game. Miles Sanders is like one of your guys' best backs. He's a good receiving back. He's kind of like your Brian Westbrook of today. This guy can be really a mismatch problem. That Gaineswell guy, there's quite a few of your RBs out there. But, I still got to see more of the running backs that we got right now because – Mostert's injured, so Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon hasn't played a snap yet, so I gotta see more of the sample size a little more. I know that most of my fans will probably look at me and say, "Why'd you pick Hurts over Jimmy?" Well, Jimmy only had he was rotated in and playing decent like he's supposed to do. So I look at the backfield more like you guys have the little slight edge.
Okay, and to defend you on both, all right. Look, there's a saying in the NFL, right? If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback, right? Because all this uncertainty and back and forth, and even it was rumored that Jimmy was like, huh? Like, oh, what you doing here? Hey, I'm inside the 10-yard line. And he was shocked that Trey Lance came in. So it's one of those bad problems, not a good problem to have, because how long is it going to last before there's turmoil within that team in the locker room starts, being I'm Jimmy side, I'm Trey side, you know what I mean? Pick one. That we experienced that firsthand in Philly with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. So we know how bad that could be for a team. So I'm just going to defend you on why you picked the Jalen Hurts pick, because he is our quarterback. And you saw what he did. Like, we didn't have to, switch him out in order to score within the red zone. Now, he is that guy. So and then the Mitchell one real quick. I've seen Elijah Mitchell, and I even picked him up in my fantasy team, but I'm not going to start him this week. I mean, I'm not dumb, because I realized that our Philadelphia Eagles defense, their strong points year after year has always been the running game. Like in order to stop the team, you got to stop the run game. So that's always been our strength, our strong point besides last year. But Mitchell's all right.
Yeah, so we can agree on those two edges right there. I'll give you guys a slight edge.
All right, and let's move on to this right here. This is about to be a tricky one. Who had the better tight ends? You see, ends. You know what I mean? So
man.
Huh?
Man, that's a tough one. It's tricky, man. But I gotta put it like how I see it. But okay. As far as you guys have two good tight ends, I'm still gonna go with my boy Kittle, and he's got other guys to make him better. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to my team, because Kittle does a lot more than just catching. He's more effective to the running game. He changes the field position. I know you guys have two good tight ends, but I gotta at least be realistic on how I see the team in general. Like, I like a guy who can do everything. And I know Zach Ertz is more of a good route runner, and Goddard's pretty solid too. But people been sleeping on my boy Ross Dwelly, man. That guy's pretty good. So I don't have to go Ross Dwelly. You don't know about him. He's one of those guys that people don't mention about. He's like that sleeper that nobody gives credit where it's due. So I pretty much gotta give the edge to my boy Kittle in that group.
All right. So would you rather have two good tight ends, possibly top 7, both of them combined? One is top 5, voted by PFF as the 5th best tight end in the league, and one is at least inside the top 10. Would you rather have two top 10 tight ends, or just one top 3 tight ends that people could shut down one, but then what?
Well, you can get two top tight ends for that situation, but like, as far as like a guy who I look at in the group is like, he adds leadership. But as far as like you're saying, of course I'll take the two tight end sets, but it's kind of like splitting the complementary. So I like production more better than the split. I want to get the bow cow guy.
Okay, hey, look, we're gonna get into a lot more, but right now, like, I'm just trying to get position by position before we start getting in the. So right now, according to you, it's 2-1. 2 Philly, 1. Okay, all right. Who had the better defensive line?
Better defensive line?
Yes.
Well, looking at the way the Eagles played against the Falcons, and then look at the Niners' overall production, we have a healthy Bosa. You guys have really good depth. It's kind of like a head scratching for me to choose. Like, I've seen you guys give us a lot of problems, but did you guys even register a sack?
Yes, game? 3 sacks.
So we got 3 too. We got 3 too. But, so, okay. You know what? I'm going to give the edge to my team on this one now, since we're talking sacks and pressure and all that. So I'll make it 2-2.
Okay. You know what? No. And not so fast. Not so fast. Who is on your defensive line? Name me some, like, guys that is on your defensive line that you think could wreck the game besides Ford and Bosa.
The one guy that would definitely wreck is Ebicom. He's been getting some pressures, but if you look at the guy on our defensive lineman is Eric Armstead. When you free up this guy, he can be really disruptive dude. You can look at some guys. We got some pretty solid depth. I mean, despite all what I see, Javon Kinlaw is a good run stopper. He definitely puts on, like, he wrecks havoc a little bit. So I know that what you said, no Bosa, no Ford, but I like what I see out of this Ebicom guy. So that's the one dude you might need to watch out for. And then we got this kid Arden Key on the rotation. It's like we got some stack up depths out there, and then we got one guy coming off suspension. Like in 5 more games, this guy's a beast out there. So
okay, so could any of those rotational players be starters?
Like I've seen flashes what Ed become. He's definitely got potential to be a full-time starter in this league, and I'm surprised the Rams let this guy go, but they didn't use him the right way. Arden Key was in a bad situation. He looked like he could be a starter, but the Raiders screwed him up. I think there's potential for him to be a starter. DJ Jones is, of course, can be a serviceable starter at D tackle. Kevin Givens, definitely a serviceable starter. I mean, you look at the
go ahead.
But you look at those guys like if we're talking depth wise, our backups are pretty solid too. So I kind of like when I look at the Eagles, I like what you guys got with Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett, the other guys out there. You got Ryan Kerrigan. Those are good players for sure. But who are your main backups that can be starters? That's where I'm questioning right there.
What you mean? Kerrigan is the backup. He started for the Washington football team, and the only reason why he didn't even play that much last year was because of the whole Chase Young, because they're all because their whole D-line is first-round picks. So
I know that part. No, I know that part of Ryan Kerrigan, but if you had a name outside of Kerrigan, who would be the other guys that could be serviceable?
Sweat. Sweat. Look, one thing I'm about to tell you right now, that Sweat might lead our team in sacks. And he's a backup to Barnett or flip-flop Barnett. So that's, Sweat and Barnett been competing the whole offseason. Those guys are monsters. Like the whole offseason, all you've been hearing is Sweat, Barnett. And I'm not even done yet. Hargrave, Ridgeway. Ridgeway should have had 2 sacks last year, and he's the backup to Hargrave or Cox. And he could have had 2 sacks last game, and he got 1. So I'm telling you, like right now, our defensive rotation, I'm confident right now, if we would take Cox out, Hargrave out, Barnett out, and Graham out, and put Sweat, Kerrigan, Williams, and Ridgeway, we'll still have a top 10 defensive line to get to the quarterback.
Okay. All right. Let me make that argument there for the team in general. Okay. You take out Bosa, you take out Ford, you take out Armstead, you take out Javon Kinlaw, DJ Jones, you put him at D tackle. Kevin Givens, you put him out there. Let's see, Ebicom, you put him at the edge. You put Arden Key on the other side, and then Maurice Hurst Jr. on the rotation. That's pretty deep right there. I mean, then you got Zach Kerr at the D tackle also. I mean, Jordan Willis. I mean, I think we got some solid depth right there. Even with the injuries, I think those are the main strong position. We kept 11 people on the defensive line roster this year. That tells you a lot.
Have you seen that package start in preseason in order to say that, hey, you are confident that those backups could be, a top 10, a top 15 even defensive line?
I feel like the talent kind of brings a little bit of the 2009 vibe a little bit on the edge of the defensive line, but I'm not saying it like overhyping, but I'm hearing a lot of this buzz about it. But like I'm talking like you saying that if these guys were out, I feel confident with those guys we got there. But I'm pretty sure it's kind of like an even between the Eagles and Niners when it comes to defensive line. But
all right. So look, so it's a push. It's a push, right? So right now we're still up 2-1. All right, hey, let's go. Hey, this is my favorite one right here. The O-line. Do you think your offensive line is better than the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line?
No. I think you guys are in the top 3 or something between the offensive line pass protection wise. Our offensive line needs to still gel a little bit. Despite giving up 1 sack against Detroit, I still think it still needs to gel more. So the Eagles have had this offensive line for a while. They've been gelling. So I got to give the slight edge to the Eagles offensive line because you guys did a pretty solid job. So I got to go what I see on what I see overall. So
all right. So in your mind, hey, we up 3-1. So, but I'm about to go a little bit deeper into the offensive line. Look, our offensive line was ranked top 5 in PFF. Pro Football Focus hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Yo, I'm going to tell you that right now. So in order for them to rank us in the top 5 in offensive line, then we had to be really, really good. And last year, just based on the injuries, we came in the season last year before the injuries happened, top 3 offensive line. And then all of a sudden last year, everybody got hurt, and all of a sudden Eagles went from top 3 to like non-existent. And that's part of the reason why that the Philadelphia Eagles are getting such disrespected. Our left tackle, Amadiata, 6'8", 360. He just signed a 4-year, 64 plus million that could add up to $80 plus million contract right before the season started. Our center Kelsey, he's been there, our solid player. He ain't never missed a game since he's been with the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Brooks is back, all pro. Lane Johnson's back, all pro. Samalu, he had about 3-4 seasons under his belt. So I'm just trying to tell the fans why they should not get on you, the 49er fans. Why they should not tell, hey, we got the best offensive line. These are facts. You know what I mean? These are stats that I'm spitting out to them so they won't get on you too much. Because right now we are up 3-1, right?
Oh, 3-2.
Oh, wait. Who was
I said, remember I picked tight ends and I picked D-line. And I picked between the third of those other spots.
No. You said the D-line was a push. A push is even. So you said the D-line was a push.
Oh, so it's a push? Okay.
Yeah, right, a push is, it canceled it out. So
okay, so that means even. It's canceled between both. Okay,
yeah.
So it's even.
So
all right, I didn't know how the difference.
Eagles is up 3-1 right now.
All right.
So and let's what else I got? Okay, and the secondary. Who got the best secondary right now going into this game, health-wise, talent-wise? Who got the better secondary? Not the front 7. Man, I'm talking about the safety, the DBs, the rotations. Who got the better secondary?
Got to give it to the Eagles on this one. I mean, the depth after those injuries, I don't know who would step in. So that would be the only question mark of my team is like when we had Barrett, I would pretty much have a different answer of it. But at this moment, I got to go with the Philadelphia Eagles on this one. It's like you got Darius Slay, and then you got, Steven Nelson.
Steven Nelson.
You got some depth over there. You got some other guys out there. And it kind of sounds hard to just say, it's like really kind of hard to like pick against you guys on the DB wise. I mean, I got to give you guys the edge because you guys have a lot of skill set players at safety. But if you were talking safety wise, I would have picked my team, but you picked the entire secondary. So that's you guys the advantage. Advantage. Yeah. So I'll give you guys the advantage.
So we up 4-1 Eagles.
4-1.
Okay. So I think that's every position right now before we go into exactly, what do we expect. All right, yeah. Hey, that is everything. So, with that being said, give an argument why your team will win on Sunday.
It's all about making these adjustments. We've been on the road. We've been around the East Coast, so it shouldn't be much of a disadvantage against. I know you guys have home field advantage, but hear me out. I say that we run the time of possession. We run the time of possession. We run the clock more. We keep your offense off the field, and we just be able to win by at least 3 to 4 points at least. I think you guys are going to give us more of a problem. But as far as my team in general, we just got to get to Jalen Hurts. We got to make sure that he tries to throw in the ball a little more and not scramble too much or run free like Russell Wilson does. I mean, we got to be able to do good in coverage, and I don't know how we're going to make those adjustments, but I feel like in some way we might still be able to play a very shootout game with you guys and come out with maybe a 4-point win. That's the way I look at it. Maybe depends.
Okay, so we just went over every position on the team. All right, so you are down 4-1 with a push involved with the defensive line, and you still feel like just based on your phantom. I mean, it's not, realistic. Like, if you would pick a team that would win just based off what we just went over, it would be the Philadelphia Eagles, just based home field advantage. That's number 5 right there. That's number 5, why we have the better team and the better chance to win. But for some odd reason, only 2 people out of 15 analysts picked the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Why is that?
because they think that the way you guys played Atlanta or because of the way your division is, maybe that's how they look at it. But I think in a lot of ways, they picking you, they're picking us because we play a tougher division and plus the way we were tested. But that has to be
wait, the way y'all was tested. Wait,
no, like division, like our competition, the way we play, they think we're perennial playoff contenders. They would put us above you guys in some ways, like the way they look at it.
Well, if we're going off this first week,
No, we played terrible, but I'm talking about like the way we played overall, like in our division. Like you guys play the NFC East, and they underestimate your guys' division a lot. So that might be the only reason why they might just pick the Niners, because the fact we played an actual better division, tougher division. Despite the Detroit Lions game, that can be the one thing that may give you guys a slight edge of a good argument. Like, oh, you guys played Detroit, you should have blow the brakes out of them a little bit.
Before we answer Spy City Chop, question, wide receiver issue. I do feel like this. The superior team, when you play a less superior team than you beat the brakes out of them. And I feel like it regards if y'all let your foot off the pedal or not, it tells you the mindset of that team coming into the season. Yeah, y'all were up 41-17. 2 minutes left. I've seen the highlights. 41-17, 2 minutes left. And I don't know how they put up 16 points on y'all and still got the ball back with the chance to go down and tie the game. What happened? I'm dying to know what happened. Did y'all get too cocky? Did the game plans change? Did people start going down? Greenlaw wasn't in, Verrett wasn't in. So it was an injury, or was it just, hey, we got this in the bag?
They were just getting too ahead of themselves. They were too relaxed. I see in the conference of one of the players, like Jimmy was saying, we were too relaxed at the end of the game, and that's not a good thing. So we could not be relaxed. But I think the fact that we took some of our starters out too a little bit, and then the fact they were getting too comfortable, and then they realized that this game could have been a lot closer than what people assume. So they probably just realized, hey, we got to make some plays and stop this. But we were getting too cocky. I feel like when we get this cocky, we're starting to be like Atlanta would do in the Super Bowl. They got too cocky too, and that has to change. Shanahan has to change his approach.
Yeah. Look, I agree with you on that one, but you could tell that the Philadelphia Eagles were angry. Where the underdog, we was underdog going into this game, and what kills me about the media is this: they pick us to lose going into this game, right? Because they had Kyle Pitts, Ridley, Matt Ryan, Mike Davis. I don't know nobody on their defense, but, they pick us to lose. But when we beat the bricks out of them, Atlanta was a sorry team anyway, y'all played, a bad team. And that's the problem with the media when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagle team, period. We can't catch a break. We're underdogs. We win, we played a bad team. So now the excuse is, let's just say that we beat y'all, right? The excuse is going to be the 49ers limped into this game. Verrett was out. Greenlaw was out. A defensive tackle was out. Their starting running back was out. Ayuk was hurt because of a hamstring, so he couldn't really go 400%. And then they don't know what's going on with their quarterback. It's going to be more excuses. We would never get credit. And that's how I feel that we have a chip on our shoulder. Even I got a chip on my shoulder doing this live right now. Because I'm feeling like, I'm in the game right now, coach. Put me in the game because, the disrespect is real. And I feel like a hungry dog, like Kelsey say, you do not want to be around because they will bite. They bite harder, they fight harder, and you will lose against a hungry dog. So I'm just saying. But, do you see outside looking in? Do you hear the disrespect that the Philadelphia Eagles are getting, or you just worrying about your own team?
Well, as an outside looking in, I feel like in some ways we're getting too overhyped on this game against you guys. I don't think the way they were thinking, the way we're going to play against you guys. I've seen some media analysts saying that we're going to do exactly the same thing against Detroit, and I will disagree on that part because Philadelphia is more talented. It's going to be a lot tougher than it is, and we cannot be relaxed. We got to stay disciplined. So as a person outside looking in, I can see the disrespect coming from you guys. Like the fact that you guys play in the NFC East, the fact that they're going to still pick the Cowboys. They should just get off the damn Cowboys nuts for once and focus on the Philadelphia Eagles for this situation. Give them some credit where it's due. I mean, you got the Washington football team with no name. They're getting a little hype. The Giants, for what reason? They're 0-2. Who cares? I mean, who wants to talk about the stupid, sorry Cowboys? Nobody cares. They get disappointed. Give the Eagles their credit. I'm just saying. Outside looking in,
they're America's team, man. Yeah, they are America's team, man. So
disappointment is what they are.
Hey, let's get to this one. So I forgot about this one. The wide receiver core. I know Ayuk is a little banged up. Debo is the guy. Yo, I had Debo last year in fantasy, but he was banged up last year. So I drafted Ayuk this year. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay away from Debo. So I drafted Ayuk because he balled last year. And it's kind of reversed. So the wide receiver core on both teams with Rager, with Smith, with Watkins, who has the better wide receiver core overall? And not shut down one guy.
Okay, if we're talking true number one receivers, okay. This is where I gotta give the edge to my squad because you got Deebo Samuel, who's a real number one receiver, and then you got Ayuk, who if some reason he tends to flash, so he'll come around. Then we got this guy Trent Sherfield, we got some good depth, we got Mohamed Sanu. Oh, we got this guy Juwan Jennings. He's physical as it gets. But when you look at the Eagles, there's just Devontae Smith is like the one guy that stands out to me when it comes to being the best route runner for your guys' squad. I think he could be better than Amari Cooper. Jalen Reagor, his rookie season was kind of a little disappointing, but if he keeps on clicking like he's doing, it can be a change of opinion. But I just look at it like he just had a standout game, and I just need to pump the brakes a little bit on this guy a little bit. So it's like you got Quiz Watkins that's got the preseason hype. I want to see what he can do throughout the season. I know you got other guys like some other depth receivers, but I'm going by what I've seen recently, and I've seen production. Debo's been doing good. Trent Sherfield was proving it throughout the preseason. He actually got a touchdown. He kind of made some big plays here and there. Mohamed Sanu's a proven veteran, but kind of like a mentor at this point. We got I like our quality depth. I mean, I know you're probably going to make an argument and say your receivers are far better, but I feel like we got the more true number one receivers. Hear me out on that one.
Receivers or receiver?
Receivers. Like you got one, like Debo can be your true number one. He can be your true number one in some ways, but when we're talking depth wise, I feel like we got a little bit of the advantage because of some of the fact that some of your receivers from the other side, like Jalen Reagor, he has to prove it consistently. Quiz Watkins has to prove it consistently. Devontae Smith, I like what I see out of him, but we got to see more of it.
All right, so let's throw away last year and let's go back to last week because this is a new season, and because of that mindset that the media has, and that's the reason why the Philadelphia Eagles are so low on the total. We are projected to win 3 games this year, by the way, just because of last year. So let's throw away last year. Let's just go based off this year, what you've seen so far, and coming into this matchup. Rager, all right, so let's go receiver for receiver. Debo, Smith. Which one?
So far Debo, because I still got to see a lot more from Smith, so I'm giving Debo the edge.
Okay, so all right, you got Debo, I got Smith. Ayuk, Watkins. Did Ayuk play last year? Last game?
He didn't play, but he's really the most proven guy. I want to.
But you don't know. But see, we're going off last game, not last.
Okay, last game. All right. Quiz Watkins, obviously. Okay. Quiz Watkins got the start. I thought we're going by talent-wise.
Well, I mean, we are, but availability is the best way to win a game. You have to be able to play, right? If you can't play, guess what? All right. So the third wide receiver, Rager, and who you got?
Sherfield.
All right. So Rager or Sherfield?
Rager. So now it's 2-1 in the wide receiver core. Yeah.
So we got the better wide receiver core.
Well, as far as like those debatable right there, like, yeah, I got to give you guys that right there.
All right. So is Ayuk going to play or no?
More than likely, he should be expected to play. He's more motivated. He's actually making a push, and Shanahan's already talking about how this is pretty much the best could happen. So Yeah, you're right. So we'll give the edge to your Eagles, but except for the fact that Debo's was the better receiver overall. If we're going, Devontae Smith has potential to be that number one guy that you guys are desperate for. I think he can be better than Amari Cooper would ever be.
I agree. So if we shut down Debo and Kittle, right? Because hey, we agree that Kittle, hey, you agree that the Kittle is the best tight end on the field. I agree. I have Hurts and Goddard. If we shut down, well, we're not shut down. If we minimize Kittle, about 5, 6 catches, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, compared to last year when Kittle had 15 for 15, 185 yards, and a touchdown. He killed us last year, and y'all still lost because of the quarterback play. So that's the
Yep.
reason why the asking that y'all lost is because of the quarterback play. So now, if we
Correct.
minimize Kittle, 5, 6 catches, like we did with Kyle Pitts, which is a totally different level, you know what I mean? But the defense that we ran against Atlanta, Matt Ryan couldn't go to Kyle Pitts as often. And that's why Ridley started going off. So if we minimize Kittle, 5, 6 catches, a touchdown, 70 yards, and we minimize the Debo, like the quick screens and stuff like that, or the wide open zone in the middle and get to the quarterback, who's your backup options?
Very good question. Now you gave me a really good question. It's got to be Trent Sherfield, man. This guy he was showing throughout the preseason and he was showing a little bit during the Lions game. So that's the one guy you need to not sleep on is number 81. This guy's been making some reliable catches throughout the offseason, throughout the preseason, and against the Detroit Lions. He made a very good play with Trey Lance on that play. Like if you cover those guys, you better be prepared for Trent Sherfield. He's actually been one of those guys that stood out during the offseason, and he's actually keeping that momentum going. So that's the one guy you might need to be careful for, and especially Kyle Juszczyk, man. Don't sleep on our fullback.
Look, I don't sleep on anybody. And I don't think that the Philadelphia Eagle players or fans sleep on anybody. We got that underdog mindset, period. Throughout the whole season, that's going to be our mindset. We're underdogs. And usually that mindset kicks in about 5, 6 weeks left, into the season to make a push into the playoffs. But I've never seen this team get disrespected so much to come into a season as underdogs because of what happened last year. The turmoil between Wentz and Doug Peterson and the injuries. And all of a sudden, they are a bad team. 3-14 is so disrespectful for a team that won a Super Bowl 4 or 5 years ago with the same amount of players that they won the Super Bowl with. Besides the backup quarterback and Nick Foles, he's gone, and our head coach is gone. But besides that, a lot of these guys was on this team. At least our offense and defensive line. These guys was on the team. So we're gonna keep that whole mindset. We're not gonna sleep on anybody. If that's who we play.
Yeah, but those are like those players you might need to watch out for. Like if you're gonna cover those guys, like people are gonna say it's Kittle that's the main focus. No, it's Debo also, but you need to watch out for Trent Sherfield, and especially if you guys open opportunities for Kyle Juszczyk, this guy can be a good receiving threat out the backfield. Hey, maybe we might even throw some screen passes to Trey Sermon. He's a very effective receiving back coming out of college, so that could be one of those trickery guys. Like I said, the Eagles are going to give us some really good problems when it comes to those fast receivers. Receivers and those deep balls. It kind of reminds me a little bit of playing the Kansas City Chiefs a little bit because they had a lot of those guys. So that can be the only problem. The only difference is we all know Jalen Hurts is no Mahomes, but he should be able to do good enough to get you guys to the playoffs, In my prediction, I was picking you guys below because I just wasn't sure. I wasn't really sure about the Eagles because you guys hired a new coach and it takes time to gel with this culture, and it's kind of outperforming the expectations. So I'll give credit where it's due. I feel like you guys are very disrespected, and I feel like you guys need to get some respect out of it at the end of the day. Whether you guys lose against us or win against us, I still feel that you guys should be considered respectable in this lead a little bit. I mean, you guys don't get enough credit.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump to no conclusion. Of course, we all did our record prediction, before the season started. I had us going, 10-7 max, a 9-8 minimum. that still would be good enough to make the playoffs within the NFC East. So, but hey, it is what it is because our first 6 games to me is the hardest 6 games. It's on the road, home, on the road, home against some two both teams that played in the Super Bowl last year. We played them within the first 6 games. We played the Chiefs and the Bucks with the Cowboys with y'all. That's 4 right there, and then the Falcons and the Panthers. So those are, I mean, I said that if we could go 3-3, 4-2, then we'll be winning the division. Because after that, we do play the Lions. No disrespect, the Jets, the Lions, the Giants. Our division and stuff like that. So the Raiders. I mean, these are going to be some tough tests, but they're not going to be like the first 6 games are. With the Niners, with the Chiefs, with the Bucks, with the Cowboys at home at Dallas. And help them if they go down 0-2. So they are going to be playing desperate ball. So our first 6 games is going to really, really tell us where we could go and where this team is at. So who has the best kicker and punter?
Kicker and punter, man, that's a really interesting question, but I think your kicker is more reliable, so it's kind of like hard to choose. But if we're picking just punters and kickers, I guess we have to switch by split. I think it's more of a split between, but then I got to go with the Eagles, a little bit slight edge.
Okay, so because I'm opposite. I said that we got the better punter, but y'all got gold, right?
Yeah. So it would be like it'd be a push. Okay, push.
Well, Gold is clutch, man. Hey, Robbie Gold been doing this for a long time, and he's really, really good. Or Jake Elliott. The reason why that our team went for it a lot last year because they had no faith in the kicker. So whether it's lack of opportunities or Doug Peterson is being aggressive, but I think that y'all have the better kicker. We have the better punter, and it's basically even. So, who's your returner? Who's our
returner?
And punt and a kickoff.
Well, originally it was going to be Elijah Mitchell. He did return the kicks, but then he had to play running back. So now we got the cornerback from Michigan that's going to return kicks, Avery Thomas. Okay. Like we'll see what. Yeah, he's kind of like a solid returner in college, but mostly a cornerback coming out of Michigan. Mm-hmm. So that's probably going to be our go-to return guy. Who's your guys' returner?
Well, we have Rager and Watkins returning. Yo, they got these two. They got these two pieces. Yo,
all right, give you guys the edge.
All right, so Rager, he's our number 3, by the way. Yo, that's the thing about it. He's our number 3. He was our first round pick, but now he is our number 3 because Watkins is that good. Watkins have beat him out. Throughout the whole OTAs and training camp and preseason. So imagine if Rager could become that other guy, that 1A, 1B. We've got 3 bona fide wide receivers on the Philadelphia Eagles, all 23s, like 23 and 24, are young. So our future is looking bright. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's, these questions are just coming. But okay,
coming. They're coming at you.
All right. So, what kind of game plan would you want to see on Sunday from your team in order to get out of Philly with the win? With all the positions that we just went through, who got the edge and who doesn't? What kind of game plan would you like to see this upcoming Sunday?
Well, it's going to mostly start on getting to your quarterback. We have to figure out ways to limit him, especially when he runs out of the pocket, especially how he throws the ball. We just got to figure out ways to limit this guy. I think nobody's giving him enough respect, and I feel like if you limit this guy into being what he is, and we should be get to the quarterback more effectively, create some pressure, then maybe we'll get some bad hurts Sunday. I don't know. That's the only outcome I'm looking at. The time of possession to me is the most important factor of the game because if we don't have enough time of possession, it can go either way. So that's the only thing I look at the matchup. I want to see how our secondary matches up to your receivers because I feel like it's the most speedy, talented receivers we're going to face this year. Because you got Jalen Reagor, you got Devontae Smith, who can be rookie of the year at this point. So he's already making a statement just by the way he's playing. You got Watkins, who is like that. He's like your Trent Sherfield of this offseason guy that stood out. So he's looking pretty good. So that's the one thing I'm looking at. Then you two of your best tight ends. You got two tight ends who can be in your top 10 easily, but we're going by how you guys match up. So it's pick your poison. We got to figure out ways to adjust. So that's what I'm looking at. If we can limit your offense to 20 points or less, then it's a win-win, but it's going to be hard. That's how I look at it.
All right. So how about your running game? So are you going to rely on that running game, or like, are y'all going to put a Trey Lance in? So how much do you think that that Trey Lance will play in this game?
Depends on what we do. I think it's going to be exactly the same way we did with New Orleans. Depends on how you guys play on defense. I mean, it depends on how you guys don't see. Like if you're catch off guard of those players, then maybe we might do it more often. But I expect the running game to start out slow first, and then maybe in the second half we start getting on the roll. But I expect at least Trey Sermon to get some of those goal line touches and maybe get some big plays here and there. But I expect Elijah Mitchell to be that speedy guy that will give us some good yardage out there. But I think it's the difficult game that we're gonna play this year because you guys are gonna give us some better looks, and I think you guys are a very good opponent, and it's gonna be hard, and especially at the link, home field advantage matters. So that could be the
first time in over a year and a half. Man, we ain't been there in a long time, and there are rumors out there, that y'all feel that y'all San Francisco 49er fans are coming to Philly to ruin old Rocky Balboa's statue. The last team that did that was the Minnesota Vikings, and they got beat, I believe, 38-7 because of the disrespect. So, I mean, have you heard that? And how do you feel about that?
Well, for any opponent out there, man, we should be classy and respectful. I mean, I don't know what kind of fans would do that. I mean, don't be like Raider fans.
Your fans.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it like as an opposing fan, you know, like I want to just go to a game and not even have to go through the issues. But don't be like Raider fans. Don't be like those kind of unclassy fans. Don't be like these Baltimore fans or those other fan base that get a little out of line. I mean, you got those delusional Cowboy fans who do these unclassy kind of actions too. So I look at it this way. Don't mess with Rocky, man. Rocky can just give you a little beating right there. I don't know.
Look, just just go X the Vikings. You know, they did that in the MC Championship game. You know, we was at home and people were just taking pictures and talking and disrespecting, and they got spanked. Because if we hear it, don't you think the players hear it? They live in Philly. Yo, these players are tweeting and stuff like that, and I'm telling you right now, they're using every little thing for motivation. So, and if they come out, if those fans come out and do that to Rocky, yeah, I mean, our bets are off. Like, man, I don't know. Hey, one of our players might even just go out and punch somebody, just to set the tone. Hey, who knows on the field? But I don't know, man. But all right, so you said that we are going to be the toughest test that y'all face this season.
As far as like talent-wise, because no offense to Detroit, they didn't give us much of a good receiving core matchup. They didn't give us much of an offensive matchup. We were just not. I don't think. I mean, we played against a team with lesser talented, but we're playing a team with far superior receiving core that's got the speed, that's got a little bit of everything that you need to match up for. This is the kind of things that would get defensive coordinators to game plan a lot. So that would be the one true test because you guys are more of a better offensive team.
Okay. So before I answer that question about Jock, your division have Sam, what's his name? Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray with weapons all around. So where do you see yourself stacking in that order in that division? What is the order? First, second, third, fourth, and tell me why you think that you will be in whatever position that you said that you are going to be in.
Okay. All right. So if I had to put my order in, I'm going to put Arizona last because pump the brakes on Arizona. They do this every year. They seem like the first half team that starts out good and they tend to like be trash in the December. So, okay. Seattle, their time's up. So number 3, San Francisco, number 2, and the Rams, number 1. That's the way I look at it. I think the Rams are the most complete team. I think we still have a chance to even make it to the wild card, so that would be okay with us. But I feel like at some point when we play teams like Seattle, Seattle's probably not going to have much answers, and Russell Wilson still gives them a chance. They'll still make it as a wild card team, but I think we're more better talented than them.
Okay. Hey, shout out to the 14 watching, man. Look, if y'all enjoying this content and my guest right here, CG Ruthless, man. Yes, he's a 49ers fan, but you know how we do it in Philadelphia. We show the brotherly love, the sisterly love. No matter what team, what content creator that come on our live, we show all the love, regardless, because we are classier than that. We better than those other fans, and we know how to show love. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, click that link, subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to push this content out, because every Sunday I do the play-by-play, and I will be doing the play-by-play this Sunday, and it's gonna be lit. This Sunday is gonna be lit. Unfortunately, I can't be at the link, but I will be at my house doing the play-by-play live with y'all. For those that cannot get the game, just come on this live, and I will be doing that play-by-play and letting you know exactly what's going on. So there's been a rumor because of Mostert. You know, he got hurt, and I guess chose to have season-ending knee surgery. And there's been death threats to his wife and stuff like that. I mean, have you heard anything like that? Because you just said what fans would go trash Rocky, but then I've been hearing that from your fans that this is going on.
Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of this reports about it from what I'm hearing, and for those fans, it's pretty much the same fans who did it to Kyle Williams, man. Despite all that, but when you look at a guy that keeps getting hurt, man, it's one thing to criticize Raheem Mostert for not staying healthy, but you leave his family out of it. Like, come on, like learn your fine line. There's a line you don't step, and they just stepped over the line. Don't act like Raider fans. Those are the very unclassiest fan base you'll ever have to deal with, because they step the line like everybody else, and we're starting to act like those little I don't want to say it, but you got to learn you got to learn the fine line. Okay, I will criticize Mostert because he can't stay healthy, but I'm never gonna death threat a guy's family and his well-being. Yeah. So there's a difference.
All right. So do you see? I'm about to switch topics real quick. Do you see Trey Lance possibly coming out this game? This be his coming out party because of the rush, of the pass rush that Jimmy G is not going to be able to get away from, or do you think that how long will it take for Trey Lance to become the starter? If not this upcoming weekend, like how long down the line would Trey Lance become the guy? Because Kyle Shanahan, his playbook is small right now because of Jimmy G. He can't open it up. He wants to spread it out like RG3. So how long do you think before Jimmy's bench and Trey Lance is the guy?
That's been the question we've been hearing that all throughout the offseason, throughout the preseason. Here's the thing. I can't get into that specific question until I see Jimmy performs terrible. I don't know if it's this game or not, or the following week. It can even be midway to the season. It could be last game of the season. That's part. I mean, I'm not a psychic and knowing the future type of mentality.
Who would you want to start for your team, though? Who would you want to start for your team?
Well, at the moment, Jimmy G for right now, because I know he's like a proven winner, but never stays healthy. But in the bright side, if you look at the bright side, Trey Lance will be our future. He will be our starter either by maybe late in the season. You might see him come out and it comes down to Jimmy playing terrible, or you might see him just get hurt and somehow we get our offense more expanded. But I'm pretty sure it could either be by next year you'll see Trey Lance be our guy. So that's the way I look at it. When we drafted Trey Lance, I said it's Jimmy's team no matter what people think. If we would have drafted the other way around, it would have been pressured just to get Jimmy out of the way. But I think they want to make sure he's in this situation like Patrick Mahomes and sits down and learns a little bit better.
Yeah, but outside looking in, I mean, you see all these other rookies. The Zach Wilson, they got rid of Darnold. The Trevor Lawrence, they got rid of Minshew. So So now you know exactly who's the guy for that team. So do you think by the trade deadline that that might happen to Jimmy G? He might get traded, in order to give a Trey Lance the rest of the year to finish it off, especially now if y'all in the hunt, you know, just doing the dual split quarterback. Because right now, Trey Lance came in, 4 plays and scored a touchdown. So it just, man, one of them things like the fans be like, come on, man, and let's just start Trey Lance, because there's a saying, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. So, and like I said earlier, Jimmy G right now is starting to get aggravated a little bit because he was surprised when Trey Lance came in the game when they was inside the 10-yard line, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, my guess is good as yours. Like these trade deadlines can come out of nowhere. Who knows? Maybe it is the possibility we do find a tradable suitor. But at this point, it seems to me we're in a win-win situation with the quarterback. So I feel like even like you said, 2 quarterbacks are not better than one, because you always want. But it's always good to have depth. It's always important. The most important position in football is quarterback. If you can't get somebody to fill in that spot, you're done. Your season's over, because you got to get a quarterback who can step in. Like, okay, the Rams, if they didn't have Stafford, their season's over. If the Seahawks didn't have Russell Wilson in the season, they'd be lucky to win 2 or 3 games. Yeah. The Arizona Cardinals, they probably finish worse and get the number 1 pick without Kyler Murray. But if you look at it this way, if Jimmy Garoppolo's out, I feel like we'll still make a push for the playoffs, and Trey Lance will still have some development and maybe make his case for next year. That's how you look at it. That's how I would be. Like, if I'm another fan and I'm doing an outside looking in, like, well, if Jimmy gets hurt, it does give Trey Lance more of an opportunity, and it gives you more optimistic about him. So
yeah, that's the same thing for us. I mean, because let's just say, hey, Jalen Hurts is out for a week. We got Minshew and Flacco, but if you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they don't have no backup. They got the Chef Danucci back there behind Dak Prescott. The Giants, I don't even know who's the backup to the Giants, and then the Washington football team. I mean, should have started already, went out, and now the backup is in. So if he goes down, they're screwed. So it's really important to have a great backup, because the Philadelphia Eagles will be the first team to tell you. As a matter of fact, we was only the 2nd team in NFL history that won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. So you got to have that. You got to have a good backup. But I'm just talking about more of the fan part, as the season starts going along. And it's not Jimmy's fault that y'all losing, if y'all losing, because y'all division is tough. I'm not going to lie. Y'all have the only undefeated division, I think, in the NFL right now, because the Ravens lost. So y'all had the only undefeated division, and y'all had the hardest division. So it's a possibility that all 4 teams might make the playoffs, or that's a fact. So it's just one of them things that you have to keep in back of your mind.
Yeah, like, I'm not disagreeing. That's what everybody's been saying, that this entire division has potential to have all 4 in this division to make the playoffs. But yeah, dude, like, I really appreciate your time and all that, dude. Like, hey, definitely in the near future we can collaborate, man. But anybody else, like, since I want to do a play-by-play reaction on Sunday, maybe I'd like to see a little bit of brotherly love from those comments and see what they got to say.
Yes, hey, look. Hey, definitely win or lose. Hey, we're not hiding. We're not Cowboy fans. Hey, the Cowboy fans, hey, once they lose, hey, they go high like cockroaches. And then you don't see them again until they win. So, your final prediction, before I let you go, what is your final prediction for this upcoming Sunday?
Okay, upcoming Sunday for the prediction. I know it's going to be the other way around if you do this prediction, but here's why I picked this prediction. It would be more of a shootout, but it's probably not going to be the highest score, but it's probably going to come down to this game. I want to go with the 49ers 31, Philadelphia Eagles 27. I mean,
that's okay.
It can go either way. I mean, it can go either way.
Yeah, because I had the Philadelphia Eagles 31 and the 49ers 23. So I feel like that is going to come down to who's better in the trenches and who could get that one turnover that could flip the whole game around. So
yeah,
But
it can
hey,
go
look,
either way.
yeah. So look, I appreciate you, man. I know you have to run. If y'all like my guy, if y'all want to collab with him before Sunday's game or Sunday morning, go check out his YouTube, sub him up, hit him up on Twitter. Let them know, hey, where to find you and what you're working on.
Oh, okay. I'll give you the direct info. Twitter, CG Ruthless. Instagram, if you guys have an Instagram, look for CG Ruthless. Mostly, I do a lot of 49ers content. I am a part of the NFC West Roundtable. If you guys like to look at this division, me and this AZ Sports fan does this roundtable with a Seattle fan named Steezy A. Smith. We do them with a Rams fan called Ram Showcase. And if you guys like to hear about our division debates, we do it every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you guys want to see what we got to say, we do a little argument debate. Like if you didn't see the one with me arguing with that Cardinals fan and talking about the Kool-Aid, I told him to pump the brakes a little bit. So I want to wait and see what happens. But yeah, and I do streams on a weekly basis. If you guys want to come on in for Sports Hangout, we can debate about your team. It doesn't matter if you're an Eagles fan or a Raiders fan or a Cowboys. I don't care. I just like to get everybody a chance to speak their platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got one Cowboy fan in here. He said, not all of us. Hey, not all. Hey, when they lose, trust me, they go hiding, but not all of them. Even though I know that he do go hiding, but it is what it is. Hey, that's my homeboy. Hey, that's one of my best friends actually from the military. But I do know him very well. He does hide when they lose, but hey, he can lie all he wants.
Hey, but you guys have one of the funniest YouTuber on your fan base. Where you're hiding? I hope he ain't hiding on Sunday.
Wait, that's his name?
Yeah, where you hiding? He's a good dude. He's a good Eagles fan.
I might go. Hey, look him up when we get done out of here.
All right.
Hey, and like always, if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button because, like I said, I'm doing play-by-play every Sunday, and we try to do the pregame show every Sunday at 11 o'clock on Bird Game Sports Nation Media. I mean, it's a new media. Hey, go check it out. And it is what it is. Hey, this is football season. This is what we waited all season for, all offseason for. We've been doing a lot of content, and it's finally here. So wherever you want, wherever you at, Poland, Australia, go subscribe to my channel. Go subscribe to CG Ruthless channel, and let's get it on. Let's get this talking going on. All right. As always, go Birds.